Right, back here live, Radio Row, Big 12 Media Days in Las Vegas. I'm John Kurtz, now joined by Kalani Sitake, head coach of the BYU Cougars. Really appreciate you taking some time for me here. Does it feel kind of like home for you guys being in Vegas for Big 12 Media Days?
No, it just feels like I feel a lot more comfortable because it's our second time now. So I remember talking to you last year, and so I think I'm more familiar with the Big 12 Media Day now, but just happened to be a shorter trip coming down in Vegas. But it's all first class, man. I love the way the Big 12 does it. And so we were in Dallas last year. It was first class here in Vegas. So I love the leadership of the Big 12 and love that we're able to interact and be involved with this, and then looking forward to the season.
What were the biggest lessons learned for you as a head coach in year one in the Big 12 last year?
Man, I just felt like we just had to go through the year, and it's just the more that we prep for it, the more I try to warn it and tell everyone what to look out for. It was just kind of those fall on deaf ears. You just kind of have to just go through the experience, and I'm glad we did that, and obviously would have liked it to be a better result, but I feel like it allowed us to make some moves and make some changes in a lot of things that we did, in terms of like the different variables that allow us to get better. I felt like we've approached a lot of those things, and we definitely have a different approach this year than last year, but now we have something to compare it to. And last year was kind of testing the waters, don't know, it's uncharted territory, so now we kind of know what to expect, and I think the guys are excited for the season.
Where do you feel like the quarterback position is at right now? I know you guys have a couple of good options you're sorting through there.
Well, I think we have a great group of guys. We have 4 quarterbacks that have played Division I football and started in games, so it just helps that the experience that we have from Gary Bohannon being one of them, and he's healthy and feeling good about where he's at right now in terms of the game, the scheme, and our program. He's such a great kid to have around. I love coaching him. And then we have Jake Retzloff. That's the same thing. He's had tons of experience from last year, and I thought he had a really good spring. So those guys will be competing, but we have other guys that have played and that we can count on. Hopefully we don't go that deep into the quarterback position. We've done that in years past, but now we know that if we do, we can have someone that's not going to be so starry-eyed when it gets on time to perform on Saturday.
Yeah, how much of an advantage is it that Gary's played in this conference?
Yeah, that's huge, and he has he's familiar with everybody in terms of like Kansas State and Kansas and Baylor, obviously. But I think the main thing that I like about him is that he's such a great young man. It's like he's a pleasant person to be around. So and he doesn't mind sharing his experiences with everybody. So that'll help out quite a bit, having someone that's familiar with everybody in this conference.
Defensive coordinator Jay Hill. I mean, I can remember when that hire was made. It seemed like such a great hire to pull a guy who had so much success at the FCS ranks. Where do you see him kind of evolving as a defensive coordinator this year for you guys?
Yeah, I think the defense will be a lot more comfortable second year in the scheme. We in this defense, we saw it already for spring ball, how comfortable everybody felt with it. I mean, the players feel a little bit more comfortable now that it's not so new anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and Jay, I trust Jay because we work together. So we've been together for a decade together at Utah. So, I appreciate what he's done as a coach at Weber State as a head coach. So he has tons of experience and knowledge that I think will be helpful for us. I'm just looking forward to seeing how it works with the talent that we've added to our roster and the talent that we've developed within our roster currently. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see him get this defense rolling.
Holy War is coming back to the Big 12 conference. I think I remember asking you a little bit about it last year, but now that it's going to be in the league, how much does that add to that rivalry?
Yeah, it just makes sense. I've said it before. I think BYU and Utah are supposed to play every year. It's a great rivalry. There's tons of respect for on both sides, but tons of passion in the fan bases. So this game needs to be an every year thing. So I'm glad it's back on the schedule. It feels right that we're in the same conference and that we're going to play that every year. So I think it's kind of a return to what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Did the Cam Rising comments yesterday go up on the bulletin board yet for you guys?
No, I mean, we have a lot of games before we get to that one, but we do understand the passion behind it, the excitement. We're just as excited to play that game too, but the time will come for that game to happen, and we'll be in a good spot by the time that happens.
You look at the dynamics going on around you in college football, and I know as a coach you probably have to stay focused in on really what you can control, but revenue gap and revenue sharing that's coming in here, like how far out in front the SEC and the Big Ten are going to be with their TV contracts. What do you make of kind of the state of the game, the state of college football right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. Obviously, part of college football is you have to adapt to whatever is out there. So with the new rules, with the technology available on the sideline, with the 2-minute break that's going to be in the end of each half, I mean, we're kind of that's we're not new to change, and so the goal for us is to make sure that the change will work out in our benefit, that we can kind of make it an advantage for us. And so I'm good with all of it. I think it's starting to settle. Things will start to settle in terms of revenue share and all that stuff. But probably in the next few months is when they start deciding, the NCAA and the Big 12 decides on how they want to operate with this. I'm excited, man. I trust them, and I trust the leadership of the Big 12. And whatever happens, we'll just try to make it work in our favor.
How do you feel about the rule that they've just recently implemented about coaches, where you can basically have the unlimited staff?
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, I think it's like, you're allowing more guys to be able to help and mentor on the football field. So I'm good with it. There comes to a point where you can maybe water it down too much, but I'll take all the help I can get, especially if they can get on the board and coach now.
Yeah. So do you have like a plan in your mind, like how exactly you'll implement that?
Yeah, I think we've already done it. It's just now we are allowed to do more with the current guys that are on our staff. But at the same time, you can only have so many voices that can be spoken. I think we got to. You don't want to have 30 coaches out there yelling at guys. It's easier to hear one concise voice at a time, especially with the coordinators. So I imagine the same thing would be very similar in terms of position coaches. You can only have so many voices going off in their ear on the sideline. So I just want to make sure that we utilize it, but then also make sure that it's working in our favor instead of just trying to do what everybody else is doing.
Well, I'm planning on being in Provo this year for the K-State BYU game. Man. So what do I need to know about Provo?
The fans will be really good to you.
Yeah.
And I've been really proud of the way our fans react to the visiting fans, and I do know they'll bring you ice cream at the end of the third quarter, which is, I'm still jealous. I want that ice cream delivered to me on the sideline, but probably not a good look if I'm eating ice cream in the fourth quarter. Fair. But I do know that there's a good football players and good teams coming to our stadium. We're looking forward to it. I have tons of admiration for Chris Kleiman as a coach, and I think he does the right way. I got to know him. I got to hang out with him and his wife at the Nike retreat, and man, what a wonderful man and what a wonderful coach. But the human being is just a wonderful person. So I'm glad that we have great people in this conference, and I'm looking forward to competing against them on the field. But I'm enjoying the friendships that we have.
Awesome. Kalani, I appreciate you doing this. Thank you so much. Safe travels.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Kalani. Thanks for squeezing me in, man. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.